Hey y'all, we're back. Welcome to another episode of Realtors Who Drink. Cheers.
Cheers. Today we have Martie Miller, who is one of our agents, but he's also a licensed appraiser and has been since 2007. And I bet you all have lots and lots of questions for him.
I do.
You start then. Start asking him some questions.
Okay, so just kind of talking about the market. I mean, everything kind of feels like it's been a little bit of a drag for a minute. And I know I called you today and talked to you a little bit about comps and just kind of everything was a little wonky. So we kind of talked about going back 18 months. So do you feel like the market is the same as it has been for the last 18 months to 2 years? Yeah, definitely. And that was very helpful because for the longest I've been 6 months to even a year. I haven't been going back that far. But once I talked to you, it made so much more sense that, I mean, it's basically been the same numbers across the board.
Right. I mean, they haven't really changed at all. Numbers haven't really gone down or up. But what I have seen, and this is another question, I have seen that people are paying a lot more closing costs than they used to. So if you see a contract and it's got $8,000 in closing costs, how does that affect your appraisal?
It's not.
It doesn't?
Right now, that's pretty much standard. For anything under maybe 300,000, we're seeing a lot of closing costs. I mean,
Does it adjust your price at all? Does it help? It doesn't? Okay, so if you were in a neighborhood, just say Shenandoah, with 2,000, 2,500 homes in it, and the level of updates is very vast in there. Okay, so how do you find I mean, is that just super hard to go in there and find comps for one particular house that happens to be updated, or do you just make a bunch of adjustments?
Shenandoah is unique. Shenandoah is 50 years old. There's typically sales that run the gambit from haven't been touched in 50 years to things that have still have fresh paint. The paint's still dry.
Right.
So we're pretty lucky doing stuff in Shenandoah when we have the ability to find other properties that have recently been renovated. So anytime you can get away from having to make a condition adjustment is typically the best way to do it.
Right. Right. So I called you not long ago because I have a house that's listed that I was worried to death may be overpriced. Same thing that you were kind of talking to him about today. And I just said, if you don't mind, will you just look at it? And he looked at it and he said, you're priced exactly right. It's just the market. And I think that's where we're getting a lot of pushback right now, is that people are coming to us wanting to drop prices, but I don't know dropping prices unless you're dropping them $25,000 is going to change the activity, right? Unless you're way below market value, is it going to change what happens with showings?
I wish I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, trying to get people in the door to see a property is very difficult.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are waiting for the rates to drop, and school just started. So if you have something on the market that's not getting a lot of activity, it's gonna be because people just got done buying school supplies. They're thinking about their kids' first test. They're waiting for the rates to
Or the first three in your case.
That's right. Alex Miller has like 4 tests.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, which is exciting. But we have getting people in the door right now is just tough.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like people have been just kind of sitting on pause because they think, when the, Fed cuts the rates in September, that is expected to be that these mortgage rates are just going to
magically get down to 3%.
So the rates are where they are right now, and they are starting to go down. We probably won't even see much change. So
no, I don't think
those
so.
that are sitting waiting.
Well, this is what's going to happen. We talk about it all the time, and it's 100% going to happen. If they drop significantly, and I don't mean to the 3s and 4s, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if they drop into the upper 5s or lower 6s, right?
Mhm.
What is going to happen is all of these sellers who are willing to give you concessions now are not going to.
Yeah, because
Because
so
your
many more buyers
competition-
are going to enter the
right.
market.
Your competition is going to quadruple.
Mhm.
And then you're looking at spending more money because you're going to have to pay over what you would have paid now and probably cost you more per month than it would have when the rates went down,
Yeah,
right?
that's absolutely going to happen. I guess the beauty of it is that every time we do a podcast, let's chat, any type of video, we always go back to this because we know what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but back to appraisals. So I have a question. Okay, someone puts $130,000 pool in their backyard, and there's no other comps to compare it to in the area. What kind of adjustments does that look like?
Does it depend on the age of the pool at all?
Pools are tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you really have to just pull it from the market. You have to find other properties that have sold in your neighborhood that are like your subject that have a pool, and pull that number, the difference between what those two properties have sold for, and extract that number, and that's where that adjustment comes.
Okay.
It's
All right.
easy to spend $100,000.
They're crazy.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you can spend less than $100,000 on a pool
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's tiny, really tiny.
Well, and I think those still cost $75,000.
So I always hear people are like, oh, but I have a pool. And then sometimes I'll see like adjustments for pools like $10,000, $15,000. And they
That
spent
does
100.
bring up a good question though, that it just popped in my head. So I'm giving it to you. Okay. So land. Let's talk about land.
Good one.
Okay. So I've always heard and thought that if it's less acreage, you can get more per acre. But if it's more acreage, you get less per acre. Is that true?
For the most part, when you're talking about rural property,
Right.
yeah, I mean that's you start talking about a 3-acre tract or a 2-acre tract versus a 100-acre tract, 200-acre tract. It's typically going to be the larger tract's going to produce a smaller price per acre.
Per acre. Yeah. And so I wasn't wrong learning that, but it's still very hard to price land. Okay, so what about a shop? What about a shop? How does that adjust the price? Does it depend on the size of the shop? Does it depend on what's in the shop? Does it just depend on it has a shop?
It depends on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's in the country, right, compared to more other like houses with other shops. Because if you're in the country, you need something with equipment. We actually talked about that in the meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm beating around the bush with that because quality of construction, size. I mean, I go to some houses that have 6 roll-up doors. It's 150 foot long, and it's 50 foot wide. And
What did those people do? And why do they need a shop that big?
it's bigger. It's bigger than the mobile home they live.
Yeah.
Like so, it's. Can you edit that? It's all real property specific, and we can develop a cost, and we can appreciate the cost. But at the end of the day, somebody's your typical buyer, and that's what we look at. What is the typical buyer doing? They're not buying that piece of property because of they're not buying a shop. They're buying
Right. But it's a plus if it comes with a shop sometimes.
it's a plus, but they're buying.
Right. Right.
And that's
I mean, that makes a lot of sense when you put it like that.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't know. Some people prefer the shop. The wife likes the house. The husband likes the shop. And so it's a match made.
Or land that you can put a shop on.
Yeah.
But just like a pool, some people just want a pool. They don't want to build one. They don't want to put one in the ground. They want it to be there when they move in.
Yeah.
But those people are very far and few between, I feel like. Or few and far between. One of the two. Well,
this is my last question. What technically makes a bedroom a bedroom? Is it a closet? Is it the window? Like what?
I love to see a closet in a bedroom.
Yeah.
but does it have to be one? There have to be a closet in a bedroom. According to regulations.
There does not have to be a closet in the bedroom.
Okay.
There has to be a window. There has to be access.
Okay.
But that is the
Can it be a fixed window? Does it have to be a window that they can escape out of?
It needs to be a window they can.
Okay.
So like a big bonus room upstairs that doesn't have a closet, doesn't have a bathroom. It's just one big bonus room that technically can be a bedroom.
If you can shut the door to it, then
Yeah.
it can be a
So I have a builder who's a high-end builder who builds one of his bedrooms, and lots of his plans is a large bedroom with its own bathroom, but he puts fixed windows on the front. But we've never had a problem with him somebody not calling that a bedroom or saying that it's 5 bedrooms versus 4 bedrooms. But the door to the outside is next to the bedroom. So would that help? That eliminates the need for being able to have access?
absolute.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right.
would think that make a difference too.
And another thing is add-ons. When people add on, when can you count it as part of the house living?
So the quality of it.
Okay.
The quality of it is the big deal.
Okay.
It needs to, whenever you walk out of the house, the original part of the house, and you walk into the addition, it needs to feel like it's the rest of the house.
Like it wasn't added on.
Like it wasn't added on. Like it's
Same level,
right.
piped in air.
Piped in air, same level, the level situation. I mean, we used to do sunken dens and all that.
Right.
So that's, to me, that's not that big of a deal as long as it's not an issue with, to where water's not an issue.
Right.
But the quality of it has to be there.
Yeah. So if you have one that is, say, it doesn't connect from the house into the guest house, but it is the same quality, but it's not connected. It's not
like a mother-in-law suite.
But outside, on the other side of the garage.
Okay.
What kind of value do you give that? You can't count it as living area because it's not part of the house.
Right.
Okay, so what kind of value do you give it?
I mean, what is?
So it's a mother-in-law suite. It's a mother-in-law house. It's got a bedroom. It's got it's nice.
It's got a little kitchen, small kitchen, little bathroom.
So do you give it the same price per square foot and just add that on to the value of the house?
I always heard half. Does that make sense? That you would take whatever the price per square foot of the house is, and then you would cut it in half for a mother-in-law suite. Did you used to hear that?
Yeah, but I heard 0.75 if it was nice.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't know where y'all hear this.
A lot of different numbers, a lot of different numbers. But it kind of goes back to the same thing with the pool. You have to look and see what the market's doing.
Yeah.
And you have to go in there. You have to go in and find other properties that have guest houses or some sort of mother-in-law suite like this, and extract that just like you did the pool. And that's really, that's hard to do because not everything's advertised as what it really is.
Yeah.
You know, when we pull up the MLS system, which that's where we get most of our data from, what you just described can be described 100 different ways.
Right.
And
so what helps you? How do I describe it to help you?
That's hard to do because the MLS system is used largely for advertising.
Right.
But if you put in what it is and just say what it is clearly,
right,
that's not a problem. It's sometimes people will find a room that has a window unit in it, and they'll call it a guest house. It has nothing else. So
okay.
You have to figure out, okay, what is this?
So it's accurate descriptions.
Right. What is this? What is this mystery room that they're calling, a second house or a duplex or something crazy?
Right.
What is that really?
Yeah.
So, but really, I mean, at the end of the day, we have to pull it from the market.
So I have a house on the river. The house itself, I believe, and I don't have it in front of me, is around 3,400 square feet, maybe 3,600 square feet. Walk across a path, and there is another house, and it's about 800 square feet. Just as nice as this house, all comes with the same property. So I listed it as the 3,600 square feet, but added those room dimensions and just gave it value. So my price per square foot looks really high.
Mm-hmm.
But that house is super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I had to give it value somehow.
Yeah. I mean, it's there. It needs to be valued.
Right.
There's value in it.
Yep.
But it's hard when you have detached, structures.
Right.
it's really hard to put a good value on that and figure that out. And that takes a lot. I mean, it takes a lot. It's hard for me sometimes. Different markets have. Sometimes in some neighborhoods you'll find two or three of them. As you get out, down by the river, you might not have anything, for miles.
Yeah.
And it's really tough to do that.
Yep. And I think the moral of this story is if you want the value that you give a house, in order to help the appraiser see that value, you have to describe it accurately and put the right numbers with it, the right description with it. I mean, I think that all of us doing that more accurately instead of trying to deceive someone into believing that something is something else it helps y'all, but it helps our clients too.
Right. And I'm sure Marty spends a whole lot of time trying to have to verify things with agents and looking through pictures and doing all the things that, like, wait, where even is this?
Yeah. Right.
I can only imagine. Because, I mean, we see it on MLS all day. Like, oh, well, on the lake. But then you're looking at the pictures like there's not even a lake there, or it's a sewer ditch. So there's so many things, that
waterfront, Nikki, it's waterfront.
Yeah, the waterfront sewer ditch. So happens all the time.
Yep.
But
yeah, unfortunately it does. But anyway, it's nice to know. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, Nikki. You've been doing this a long time. It's nice to know that there's someone that we can run these things by. And there's lots of appraisers out there that will answer these questions because they would rather you do it right than you call them after the fact and argue with them about value.
Right.
If you have a question about value, call somebody that you know that's an appraiser.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm sure you do pre-listing appraisals for agents, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll give Marty a call for sure.
Yeah, but we are so happy you came on here today.
Yes.
And you didn't panic and fall out.
Not yet.
Thank y'all for joining our podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.
Cheers. Yay.